Hey guys, what is up? Accurate here, and of course you could always just call me Aiden. But today we're going to be starting a new little series. I'm not sure how long this is going to last or how often I'm going to publish to this exact series, but it is called Story Time, as you could tell. So just for the intro, I'm not only going to stick to one story, I'm going to stick to a couple short stories, I guess. So for our first little story, this is going to be when I got lost at a grocery store. So that may sound a bit weird, but I was like 7 or 8 at the time, and I think I had a DS or an iPod. Probably, yeah, it was the DS. I have an iPod now, whatever. Um, but I was obsessed with the DS. I was playing probably Scribble Knots or something, whatever was on the DS at the time, and I really liked the DS. So I was walking. My mom had the carriage. She was, pushing it around in front of me, and I was just following her. And then we came to a little turn right down another aisle or whatever. I think my mom turned down the aisle, but I kept walking straight. So now what happened was eventually somehow some random lady with blonde hair, my mom has blonde hair, ended up right in front of me with a carriage. So, I kind of glanced up and I was like, oh, hey, that's probably just my mom. So I kept walking and then I looked up and I was like, hey, mom, mom. And then the lady turned around and she was like 60 years old or something. And oh my god, my stomach just turned. Of course, at the time, I was like, oh my god, my mom probably left me here. She probably forgot about me here. So I was freaking out. Like, I was probably at the time, I was running around screaming for, mom, help me, please. I was doing all this. I eventually went to where the checkout aisles things are. And I saw my mom and I was crying at the time. It was a very traumatic experience at the time. So now we're gonna go on to the next little short story. So our next little story that we're gonna get into is when I got in a quote unquote fight on the bus. So now this was actually only a couple years ago, I think, or a year ago or something. But there's this kid I don't really like. I'm not gonna say any names, but he was kind of being a douchebag. Sometimes he could be cool. It's that type of kid that could be just a total douche at sometimes, and then he could just be, cool at some points. I probably told this story to my friends, so if you know who I'm talking about, you're probably giggling a little bit, if I know you in real life. But what happened was, I was sitting on the bus, and this was when the Stanley Cup was about to happen, in the next coming days or whatever. So I am a Blackhawks fan, and it was against the Bruins. This was a couple years ago, I think, or a year ago or whatever. Um, so yeah, and I liked the Blackhawks, and of course, me being a little eavesdropper at the time. What is it? This kid was talking about the Bruins to this other kid, and so I was like, oh, I hope the Blackhawks win. And then the kid looked at me, the one, we'll just call him Jonathan, I guess. So Jonathan looked at me, and he had a look of disgust in his face. I don't know why, but then something happened that's never really happened to me before by a random person. He he raised his hand with, like, just his hand out straight, and then he smacked me across the face a little bit. So I'm the type of person that if I get punched, you're gonna get punched. If I get pushed, you're gonna get shoved, type of thing. So when he did that, I was like, oh, hell no. So what I did was I stood up in my seat and I had my hand out and I fake slapped him, and the kid, like, cowered down and, like, fell back into his seat. And then he stood back up, and my hand probably touched the other side of the seat, way back, because that's how far I loaded my hand back. And then I just threw it forward with all my might, and it slapped the kid across the face, and he fell back into his seat. He was teary eyed. I don't think he wanted to, see people, you know, see people. No, I don't think he wanted people to see him crying. So he was tearing up, and his face was really, 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 really red. And usually I would feel bad, but at the time I felt pretty good. Yeah, that's the little story of when I got into a tiny little fight. This is our last little story. And this is about the time that I've probably been the most scared in my life, besides the first story that I told earlier in this video. So now this story is about the maze game. You've probably heard about it. I was little at the time when it, was really popular and trending, and I actually lived in a different town at the time. To think about it now, it's pretty crazy. So I was in the single digits of age, and I was really scared of that. I didn't watch any playthroughs or whatever those would be at the time. I was too scared to look at the jump scare. I've seen it on the internet though at the time, so I knew that the zombie face and loud scream or whatever. But I was too scared to play it myself. So my brother at the time, he had a friend come over. His friend was pretty nice, but then they did this to me. They wanted me to play the maze game, so they kept bugging me about it. So I did it. Um, but they were sitting next to me, and I asked them if they could tell me when the jump scare is gonna happen. So while I was playing it, they were like, "Oh, it's gonna happen in a couple of levels. I'll tell you when." So I kept doing it, and then they were like, "All right, it's the next level." But that was the level I was on where the jump scare happens. So I was playing, and all of a sudden it happened. It screamed. It was so loud, and I like threw the computer or laptop, whatever at the time. I didn't throw the computer, but probably jumped back. I was so scared. I screamed. I started crying at my young age at the time. I was just, oh my god, I was so scared, and I hated them. I was like punching my brother. I really, really was mad at them. I screamed so loud. If you guys could watch it, my reaction, you guys would be laughing your buttocks off. It was really, really, really funny now that I think about it, but at the time it wasn't. So that's gonna wrap it up for this video. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, and I will know now. I will know to continue this series or not. So yeah, and then I'll probably make not make longer stories, but go more into detail and make longer videos of the story, a certain story, or I might just do a couple of these where it's like a little montage of all the stories. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. I've said that twice now, and hope you enjoyed the Minecraft gameplay in the back. Couldn't really get any other gameplay, but I'm gonna try to do more DZ videos and all that. For some reason, I can't do H1Z1. I don't know why. It won't load up on my computer. It sucks. But yeah. All right, guys. I will see you later.